Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping build your mindset every single day, taking you from where you are in your life, your business, your health, your fitness, your wellness, your body, to where it is that you want to be so that you can become unstoppable. And today what I'm going to focus on is really around the state that the world is right now with this COVID pandemic, and just trying to give you some confidence in knowing that this is going to end. There is going to be another side to this. So we're really heavily in it right now. There is going to come a time whether there's either a vaccine, the numbers drop off, we're able to work out how we can live with this effectively and keep the economy open at the same time so that it's not all just about lives, it's about lives and livelihoods. And we're able to strike that balance where we can do absolutely everything that we want to do. We're able to meet people, we're able to network, we're able to attend events, both business-wise and socially, so that we can live ultimately the life that we want to live. I mean, I got an email this morning from Qantas reminding me on how many points that I had and how I could use them and so forth. And so I can't use them at all because I can't travel anywhere at the moment. So I laugh when I get those emails. But right now, we're going through hell, and the state that I live in, it's getting worse every day, and we're just waiting for now, within the next 15 minutes or so, they're going to have another media release about some more numbers that have come out today. We believe they're a little bit better than yesterday, but it's up and down every day. So there may be some further restrictions in place. We don't know. Yesterday they made it compulsory for us to wear masks as of Thursday this week. Today's Monday. We need to all wear a mask when we go out, no matter what we do. And that's new. Some people are now saying that was too late. It should have been called earlier. And how would you know, really? How would you know? And so I wanted to just reflect for a moment just in history about what's happened in the past and how it was all very much doom and gloom, and in some ways much worse than we are right now. But there was a feeling at the time that perhaps things would never get better, because when you're in the thick of the poo, when you're really, really down, when things look like they're not going to get any better, you feel like there's no way out. But so let's look in the 1930s, the Great Depression. I mean, this hit everybody around the world, and it was so fierce that lives were lost, livelihoods were lost, and it took so long to come out of. And then out of the 1930s they went into the Second World War, into the 1940s, which lasted like 5 years or something. I mean, there's a chance that COVID could last as long as that. And you think, wow, I mean, World War II, I mean, I can't even comprehend what it would be like to be part of World War II, like in the armed forces, and see the atrocious things that occurred, and to come back and lead a normal life. I don't know how you do that in any sense of war, really. It's so difficult. And so we had the 1940s where that was just taking over the world, and the amount of destruction. I mean, you had lives lost, obviously millions of lives lost, but also the property damage from senseless acts of war. And then we came to the 1960s and there was more war. So we had, forgive me if I've got the timing not quite right, but obviously we had Vietnam War, we had the Korean War, there was Crimean War, there was all kinds of different wars through the 50s and 60s, and some of them still rage on today through Afghanistan and so forth. But in the 60s, again, this hit really hard, and it hit the economy hard, it hit lives hard. I mean, just the emotion of war, the emotion of all that loss, and because it was, especially the Vietnam War, it was seen as a war that we shouldn't have even been in, then that created a whole lot of other issues as well. I'm sure there was other things in the 70s as we went through the 70s, but the next big thing that I can remember in my life was the 1987 stock market crash, the biggest stock market crash in history in one day, and it was like it just decimated everything. But up to that point, and even beyond the stock market crash then, the economy recovered. The stock market recovered. And if you look over history, it didn't only just recover back to normal levels, it far outgrew it. And then we got 2008, the global financial crisis. And again, this brought down big corporations in the US, and there was a feeling that, wow, how are we going to recover from that? But we did. We recovered from it. Now what we're going through now, 2019, 2020, and who knows how long for, this will be a way worse than the GFC. But right now, if you look at what's happening in the stock market, it's still climbing because I guess there is so much money being pumped into the economy from governments, which was different to the GFC. But there is a sense that, yes, we will come out of this. Now, unfortunately, so many people are going to lose their businesses because they're just not going to be able to operate under the restrictions, and so many businesses are highly geared as well. So that means that now they've still got the debt, but they're not having any or much income coming through. It's just so tough. But it's also that mental toll that it takes on people in thinking, I can't do this anymore. We've gone into the second lockdown, and like if they take the restrictions any further, even more people will say, do you know what, I just can't do this anymore. And they're throwing it all in, they're rolling over and being bankrupt. And it's sad. But here's the point, there is another side. We don't know where that is, but there is another side to it. One of the problems that we have around the world is the media. They sensationalise all this stuff, and they're having an absolute field day at the moment. The way that they report certain things and around all the restrictions and everything and what it means to businesses, it's almost like they get off on talking about another hard-nosed story. Bringing out more cases of people from different situations that are really struggling and really battling. It's like, okay, let's just make this worse than it really is, or let's just make it seem even worse than it is. So that annoys me, but it's like new sells, right? So that bad story sells. The good stories don't normally sell. So here's the thing. I want you to have the belief in the fact that this is going to end. Because we don't know when, but you know that it's not always going to be like this. It just won't be. And how do we know that? Because look at the past history. We know that these things have happened in the past. We know that there have been so many things that have been worse than are happening right now, that have happened in the past. Like even the Spanish flu back in 1919, the First World War. We got beyond that. A much different time that we're living in. We're a much better time that we're living in now. But we got through it. And we will get through this too. Here's the key for you. This really tests you mentally. I want you to become mentally tough. I'm sure many of you are already mentally tough, but this pushes you even further, and it's frustrating when you see, they came through my Facebook feed yesterday. So we're going into further restrictions here, and I see on Facebook on the other side of the world where people are going on holidays, and whether they should be or shouldn't be, I don't know, just because the restrictions are a little bit more relaxed in their countries, and posting videos of them partying with other people on rooftops and things like that. And I'm like, do you know what? I just wouldn't be posting that right now, because most of the world can't do that or shouldn't be doing that, and it doesn't necessarily send the right message. But good luck to them if they can do it safely and not get the virus. I want you to be focusing on what it is that you can do. So I've mentioned this before, but here's the challenge. Every day is different. And certainly where I'm living right now, every day there's a new announcement. Every day there could be a decision made by someone else that's going to have a negative impact on my business because they're shutting down more of the face-to-face stuff that I can do with people. So right now I can still work with people outside in a park, as well as doing all my other online stuff. But if they shut that down, well, that has an instant impact on some clients that can no longer come to see me face to face, and they don't want to work with me online. So that means that automatically I'm going to have a number of people that will not be working with me. So that automatically has an impact on my income. But what I know is that it's not going to last forever, but I've got to focus on those things that are going to move me forward and move my business forward, so that when things open again, I can really just take off like I did last time. It's just that we were only open for 16 days and they shut us down again. But here's the thing. I want you to stay focused on your path. You're only going to do that if you've done some planning to say, well, okay, what's really important for me right now? What do I want to achieve right now? For me, I'm focusing on the next 60 days. I believe we'll go longer. So this is the second week. It was supposed to be a 16-week lockdown. I believe it will be another, maybe another 2 to 4 weeks beyond that. But I'm focusing on 60 days at this stage. And I've got 22 items that I want to achieve. And some of them are smaller items, some of them are big items. And I'm working with my team to get all of those things done. And if they're all done, then that means that I will have dramatically progressed my business forward. Dramatically. So that's really important for me. And what does that do? If I'm focusing more on that, I'm focusing on less of those other decisions that are being made by someone else. And it doesn't mean that they're not important, because they certainly are, but it means that I'm focusing on what I'm in control of, because I can control all this stuff. I can't control the other things, but I can control this. So that's super, super important. The other thing that I want you to do is I want you to focus on your health and wellness like you've never focused on it before. Why? Well, one, you've probably got a little bit more time now. You're not able to go out and do those things that you were doing before, so you're shut down a little bit more. You've got more time to focus on it. And forget the fact that if you can't get into a gym, that doesn't matter. There's still a bunch of stuff that you can do at home. And if you're not sure what it is that you can do at home, reach out to me. Go to the mentaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, scroll to the bottom. You can opt in for a free consultation with me. I can talk to you about different programs, give you a couple of free programs so that you can do them at home and set you up for success right from the beginning. But because this COVID thing is hitting everybody's health really badly, it's around health, so it's hitting some people particularly badly. What a great time to be focusing more on it. Build your immune system, make yourself healthy and strong and well, so that if you do happen to get in contact with it and you get it, then you're not going to come down really sick. That's really important. And the last point I'm going to say is I want you to set your expectations of yourself really, really high. Don't use this as an excuse to back off. Like if you're used to going to a corporate office or rented premises somewhere and not working from your home, there's a temptation to say, oh, well, I'm working at home, I'm going to back things off. Now, my office has been in my home for the last 12 years, and I'm super focused every day. But for some people, it doesn't come that easy. So set your expectation high. Set deadlines for yourself. Set big targets for yourself, and keep pushing and keep striving for those things, so that when we do get to the other side of this, you can look back and say, wow, look at all the things that I accomplished because I was focused and I was mentally tough to get through this. So you have a great day wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.